Why are you crying? No, I can't talk to you? Cool. Let's see. That's not the bookshop. That was around the corner. Smoking tobacco. La drogas. Pianos. Is this horse hurt? Are you hurting horses? Hello?
Do you even have enemies that would want to kill you? Okay,
That's
perhaps
alright, you're
from Cordona.
I feel like you're gaslighting me right now.
How about that Vogel fellow? He seems rather obsessed with you. Would
Nah.
he do something like this?
I'm just trying to, like, you know, find the bookstore, and you're talking about would I have any enemies that would really want to kill me? How do you know? Who are you? What? Leave me alone. Is that the police? Right? Ah! Alright. That's the barbershop. Is this the look. Gaslight. I'm scared. Where the fuck? Oh, there it is.
Why go through all this scheming to murder you? A spine stuck to the newspaper is hardly lethal. A ruined newspaper is hardly the end of the world. We can always buy another.
Bags under eyes. Hello? Hello, can I? Oh, I can move. Ink. Newspaper ink. I don't know what we're getting at here. Leans heavily on his right leg. Sore left leg. Wants to look taller. I'm screaming. Mr. Barnes has developed a limp and has large bags under his eyes, the result of long hours of intense work. He is not very confident and tries to appear taller by wearing high heels. It seems unlikely that such a person will be involved in a murder plot, even if the ink on his hands suggests he is the one who soiled the newspaper. Nevertheless, Mr. Barnes could still be a pawn in a bigger plan without his knowledge. We're going with he's a blackmail victim.
Mr. Barnes, a word. Oh, for goodness sake.
Who goes there?
Sherlock Holmes. Now will you please?
Mr. Holmes. Golly, I did not see you come in.
That's a lie.
Would you care
That's
to
cap.
answer some questions for me?
Well, I wish I could, but I am deep in the weeds with work. How about we reschedule in a month or two?
Come now, Mr. Barnes. It will only take a moment.
No, really deep in the weeds with important things. Well, help yourself to any book. Just take it and pay later. I trust you, Mr. Holmes.
Barnes doesn't seem like himself. Why is he acting this way? You're asking the right questions, Doctor. Let's find a way to coax him out. The ladder is broken recently, judging by the freshness of the wood. So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy? So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy? I could hardly imagine anything more macabre.
Basics of cryptoanalysis. Cryptography in Egypt. It appears Barnes has an interesting hobby.
Bingo.
In the language of Mycroft's secret agents, it's a sign. Dried flowers are replaced when the job is done. I wonder who the recipient is.
Apologies, but I can't hear you. Please come back later.
What? Yeah, you're...
Barnes has always been a little odd, but this is uncharacteristic even for him.
Okay, so I got what I needed, so now what? See? I go here, I go here. Then we take the, let's see, cryptology books. Broken letter, exotic plant catalog, boom, bam. Right? And then... let's see. Character portrait. This strand is missing.
An improvised stand, but it does make the flowers more visible. In the language of Mycroft's secret agents, it's a sign. Dried flowers are replaced when the job is done. I wonder who the recipient is. The finest view London has to offer.
Didn't you once tell me that answers usually lie in plain sight?
I mean, I guess. I wish I knew. Hey,
The weather
lady.
is dreary, isn't it? To be fair, my flowers could use the rainfall.
Didn't you once tell me that answers usually lie in plain sight?
Yeah, you're not gonna help me, are you?
Encouraging people to stop and smell the roses.
Our national emblem. God save the
No
Queen.
way.
Familiar spine. Is this what I found in my dustbin? Familiar spine. Is this what I found in my dustbin? The pot is damaged. The blow was severe, but softened by something. It must take patience and care to produce a bloom so beautiful.
I imagine so. I merely sell them. Anything tickle your fancy, Mr. Holmes?
What you got going on here?
My condolences, Mrs. Fleming.
Mr. Holmes?
Your husband's death. You're clearly still in mourning.
Oh, no. I loved him more than anything, of course, but that was some time ago now. Life goes on.
A lesson we all learn, one way or another.
I'm afraid I can't help with that, Mr. Holmes.
Are you familiar with Mr. Barnes?
Yes. No, not really. Well, in a way.
What on earth does that mean?
I know who he is, of course, but we haven't shared much more than a look.
A look?
Yes. Each morning I go for a walk in the park with my dog, and most days I spot Mr. Barnes there with his new puppy, so we see each other. Actually, we once met briefly while our dogs played. He was quiet and seemed unsteady as he approached, but since then, we've never spoken. I often see him staring through the shop window. Sometimes I wonder what he thinks about that would etch such longing onto his face.
Alright.
Are you sure you're asking the right person? I'm just a flower seller.
Yeah, I think I'm asking the right person.
One of these things is not like the other.
Come again?
The cactus. Those fearsome spines can prove a devil to remove, and the sap is often toxic.
And a rose thorn can give you tetanus, but we still grow them. The cactus seems comparatively harmless, though you have me thinking it must be valuable.
I was under the impression that you knew its price already.
Your guess is as good as mine. The first time I saw this cactus was when I came back from my break. Are you sure you're asking the right person? I'm just a flower seller.
What do you make of the flowers in Barnes' shop window?
Well, they could use a bit of water.
Do they mean anything to you?
Mean anything how? I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Holmes.
Why do you think they're there?
Are you suggesting the flowers are for me?
It seems likely, does it not?
Oh, I hope you're right.
Barnes displays a bouquet of dead flowers to attract the attention of Miss Fleming, a florist. He may hope she will come into his shop and give him watering advice, or it could simply be a symbol of desperation. Barnes anonymously gifted her a cactus, which he ordered from a catalog on his counter. A questionable choice, but for Barnes, a symbol of his eternal love, since the catalog presents these cacti as Mr. Barnes, I'm sorry, I assumed you were
Mr.
trying
Barnes,
to kill me.
I know what you did, and I know why you did it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes. I can't hear you very well from behind the door.
You ordered a cactus from the plant catalogue and then left it for Mrs. Fleming as a gift. You place flowers in the window to get her attention and wear high heels to appear taller and more desirable. You are her secret admirer. I couldn't read this morning's edition of The Strand because it was covered in soil and spines. I know you dropped a cactus on it and then fled.
Barnes, it's Dr. Watson. Rest assured, we are not interested in disclosing your personal affairs to anyone, including Mrs. Fleming. Please come out.
All right, then.
So, you know what happened then? I was on my way back from the post office, having picked up the cactus and some books. It was quite an awkward package, heavy too, and when I got to your door, I dropped the cactus and your paper. Forgive me.
I needed that paper to prove a theory and prevent a crime. Your actions were rather disruptive. Your clumsiness carrying the post is matched only by the clumsiness of your romantic gesture.
Oh, it's true. I am useless with this sort of thing. I'm not even sure if Mrs. Fleming noticed.
As in most things in life, truth is the answer. Cease with the abstruse signals and anonymous gifts, and simply talk to the woman. What is the worst that can happen? She rejects you, and you are freed from this endless purgatory.
That...
Facts.
Yes, you are correct, of course. I do have a slight tendency to overthink things. Thank you.
So, at last, we return to the matter of the paper. I'm investigating a string of burglaries. Did you perhaps read of any before the edition was spoiled?
I don't recall, but you're welcome to read our copy for yourself.
You had an issue of The Strand here all along?
Well, naturally. I am a bookseller. I have a subscription to every magazine and newspaper in London.
So you ought to be familiar with the concept of burying the lead.
Oh no, my apologies, Mr. Holmes. I'll make it up to you however I can. I am an expert on obscure languages and translation and
Yes, okay. Just give me the paper. Well, that was an utter waste of time.
An assassination did seem rather unlikely.
There was supposed to be another burglary. I was certain of it. Something you wish to say, Doctor?
No. Well, only that you have a remarkable faculty for deduction and pattern recognition. And that perhaps, if ill applied...
I see things that are not there.
Yes. It is London. There will always be burglaries. Doesn't have to mean anything.
Alright, hit a
it
bong,
seems.
everyone. Happy 420.
Forgive me. Without something to occupy my mind, I turn into an entirely different animal.
Which brings us back to my news from earlier. I think I have a case for you, a real one.
Truly?
Indeed.
Truly.
Though perhaps not as thrilling as your stories from Cordona. A patient of mine, Captain Stenwick, told me that his servant disappeared. I said I knew just the man to help. What do you say?
Oh, Watson.
Yes, I know it's not the most tantalizing mystery, nor the story to launch my writing career. But...
It's brilliant. Let's go.
Oh, good. Well, his house is nearby. Come.